Okay, joining us in the evening in Singapore. It's probably one of our biggest time gaps. 9 p.m. for you. No, 10 p.m. for you.
10 p.m.
9 a.m. for me. Kyra, welcome to Sports News.
Hi.
So,
Thank you for having me on.
It's so good to see you. It's been so long.
Super long, and I miss everybody. It's nice that I get to talk to you today.
What a crazy year it's been. You're back training again, are you? Have you been in the tunnel today?
Yes, I just came from training and dinner, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole day training today. It's really good to be back in the tunnel because I just finished my education. So back into the tunnel.
Yeah. You've just finished all your exams. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And what are you doing in the tunnel at the moment? What kind of training are you doing?
I think firstly is to get back into the tunnel and just fly for fun because I haven't been training for about 2.5 months, which is for me like the longest time I've ever stopped flying in my whole life since I started flying. So just getting back, having so much fun and finding my love for flying again.
You started flying when you were 9 years old. How old are you now?
I started flying when I was 8 years old.
8.
And now I'm 18. So
10 years. Did you have any idea how many hours you've got in the tunnel now?
I have no idea. And many people ask me this question, but I have no idea. Maybe 500 hours.
Yes, incredible. So what's the situation been like in Singapore with the pandemic? And has the tunnel been shut down or was it open?
The tunnel was shut down because we were all on lockdown starting in the start of the year. But after that, they did renovations. They decided to clean the fans and everything. So iFly was closed down for another 2 months, I think. And then I stopped because I had my exams. So I have not been flying a lot this year and I really miss it. And I hope to spend as much time as possible after finishing my education to just, fly again.
So 8 years old, your first time in the tunnel, I think your mother had been hired to do some advertising and promotion for the place, and that's how you got involved, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
So when you were 8, what else were you doing before the tunnel? What other activities were you involved in?
Before flying, I was actually in swimming.
Yeah.
And that's how I met my partner, Ishan. As everybody knows, we're Team Firefly. So we actually swam together at first and we represented our school. But then we decided to try out iFly, and that's just how it started. The CEO of iFly Singapore, he asked us to come down and he asked us to train more. And then from then on, we went overseas for competitions, and then it just continued all the way till now.
Your very first flight when you were 8, was that with Ishan? Were you in the tunnel together?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you went in on the same day.
We went together and we had just finished swimming training. And we still have like the pictures when we were young and of our first flight, like wearing those like tight first timer glasses and everything. It was really fun.
It's been an incredible journey. You've become an ambassador for your country, for Singapore. I remember being in China for the drone racing finals, putting the TV on at the hotel, and you came on as the Singapore ambassador on the commercial. It was incredible.
I know you messaged me and I was like, what? That's crazy. Oh my God. Yeah.
So your journey, let's go forward through all the training up to 2016. You were 14 and you had the Polish championships. You got the junior freestyle champion. Yeah.
That was my first FAI World Cup competition. And I took part in junior freestyle, so yeah.
Yeah, I remember that moment as well. It was an incredible time. Before that, though, you'd done other competitions. You'd been at Body Flight.
Yes, in Bedford, my favorite. How could I forget? It was my first international competition, and it was really, really fun. I think that was the competition that made me fall in love with competing.
How did you feel about being in the tunnel in competition? Did you feel like it was just a bit of fun, or did you really want to win? Did you have that competitive edge from the beginning?
Definitely a competitive edge. I'm a very competitive person. I think since young, obviously it was for fun and to learn. But I think I have this saying that like if you do something, you have to do it your best. So like when we go in, it's just focus and we want to like put as much effort as we can. So yeah, very much a competitive edge.
So that was 2016 in Poland, and then 2017 Win Games.
Yeah. That was a very fun time.
Was it the speed races? You won the speed races for the first time?
It was the first time ever Win Games had the solo speed.
Yes.
And it was so called to crown like the world's fastest flyer. So actually I had no idea like what it was because nobody has actually came up with this category before. So I decided to try it out, and yeah, I got fastest flyer and also freestyle solo open, which was my first open competition win. Yeah, and I also did four-way with all the amazing friends like Josh, Ben, and Luke. So it was really the first time that I tried many different categories, and yeah, really loved it.
At that time, when you were doing your freestyle, you were doing your different categories. Had you started two-way dynamic then? Were you doing two-way dynamic with Ishan?
Yes. I only started solo freestyle in 2016. Yeah. Throughout the whole years, I was always doing two-way only.
And did you feel like two-way was the one you wanted? Was that the golden ticket that you were aiming for?
I think because we always started with two-way since 2012, we were always a team together. So yes, obviously, like that was what I put my focus on. But in 2016, Ishan actually stopped flying for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, and in Singapore, it's not like in Europe or in America where there are lots of people flying around, unfortunately. We're hoping to grow the sport, of course, in Asia. Yes. But at the time, obviously, there wasn't anyone else. So I decided to try doing freestyle by myself. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's really different. I still love the team camaraderie that I have in two-way, but yeah, it's different.
So many competitions with the two-way dynamic. I'm just thinking right now, Clash of Lions in France and so many others where it was so close. We thought so many times you were going to take that gold.
Not many times, but yeah. In Bahrain though.
Then in Bahrain, what a moment that was. I
know.
The win, there's so many bits of it. There was your incredible release at the win. Your mother's face was incredible.
She was screaming and everything, and we could hear, and you were too. I could hear you like when I watched back the live, like you and Emma were like, "Oh my god!" And it was the best moment of my life. I think.
There's been some incredible moments. Which stand out apart from that winning that gold medal, and apart from the other wins? Which moments and which competitions have a special place in your heart? Which do you remember the most?
Definitely, I think when I competed in the four-way with Josh, Ben, and Luke in 2017, because at that time I was still like really, really small, and like I didn't really do four-way dynamic at all. And Josh had actually came to Singapore, and he was like, why don't join our four-way team? And it was like Ben Rohn was like this tall, and I was like looking up with him, and we were all flying like four of us in a 14-footer for the first time, like for me in Spain. I think that was a really memorable flight, because like even my mom for the first time, like she couldn't watch us fly, like because she was so scared, so she was always like doing this. But I really enjoyed myself because I think I learned a lot in that time.
I'm just remembering now some of the flights at Win Games when it was down to flying again or down to a fraction of a second, and just seeing you in the chamber before the door with Ishan or with the other team flyers, calmness and the routine you have, waving to your family, high five or thumbs up with the person you're going to fly with. But in the commentary studio, to be there, the tension is so high, it's hard to concentrate, but you seem to just keep a calmness about you. Do you feel that calmness inside?
I do try to portray a calmness, but inside I'm always very shaky. But I always pray to God before I go into the tunnel, and I will try and find my mom in the audience and blow her a kiss. So that's like my routine. Yeah, before I go into the tunnel, I always look at my mom.
And the views, there's two sides to the audience, especially at the Win Games. You've got the people that are there actually in the building, and there's a lot of people, hundreds of people going up as far as the eye can see. And then you've got the big international audience with eventually millions of views. When you're about to compete and you can see all those faces, does that give you an edge or does it make you more nervous?
I think for me, I always try to look at the positive side. So if I'm scared or something scares me, I'll try to change it so that I feel more relaxed. So I'll try to focus on the people that I know in the audience. So if it's freestyle, I'll usually look at my mom or Ishan. And if not, I would just think that I'm trying my best and perform the show, and hopefully they enjoy it. Yeah.
How do you feel about indoor flying at the moment? Have you got any ideas of things you want to be different in competition, or are you happy with the way things are?
I think I'm really happy that during this COVID, Ron has actually put a lot of effort into fine-tuning like how we judge freestyle, and if we could do any changes to compulsories and everything. So she has been making a lot of Zoom calls, and I think that is a really, really good step for freestyle, especially because all of us are more knowledgeable about all the rules and everything, and she's really put in a lot of effort. So I think this whole time, like, all of us has learned a lot. But as for rules, I would say we would have to see the next competition to see whether the changes actually benefit us. But I think, yeah, that's about it. I think for dynamic, it's pretty good. It's quite standard, and hopefully we could fine tune all the small mistakes and then bring it to better places, I guess.
You have a great community. Everybody's involved. There's always constant communication. It really is an outstanding example of air sports, really, to show how it can be done with one of the newest sports. I suppose only drone racing is up there being as new, really, as as a competition. But as well as competition, you've done some special events, some quite special videos, some promotion, some art, some flying, some beautiful music and lighting. Tell me about some of those that you've done.
Okay, so the most recent one, I guess it would be in Abu Dhabi, which was last year, because Maya and we did a Red Bull project, and we opened the largest tunnel in the world. It's a 32-footer, and it was, I have to say, it was so amazing. Like, to see the tunnel, I mean, you went there, of course, so you would know, like, if for any flyer to be inside, it's just breathtaking. I almost was about to cry.
Yeah, Lise did cry when she walked in and saw it. She burst into tears.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I think it's every flyer's dream, and it was a really fun opportunity. Like, I got to learn so much, and we had to make a 3-minute routine in 3 days.
Yes.
Which is crazy. And Maya and I have never worked together, so I think it was a really awesome opportunity, and it was just really fun, of course.
What about the crew that was there? How many people were involved? The whole operation of the camera crew and everybody and directors and things.
Of course, so Lowry was there, and he was filming us. And there was people from Red Bull Singapore and Red Bull Abu Dhabi, of course, and also all of the wonderful people at the tunnel. It was very nice to see some familiar faces, especially like Garth or Tanya, which was there, Tyler. And it was just really nice, like, to be able to fly and do something that you love, and just be really surprised by what you see when we went there.
What about next competitions? When do you think you're going to be next in competition?
Well, I was hoping it was the Worlds, but it was cancelled. And I was hoping it was Wing Games, but we're not so sure about it. And I just really want to see the community. I miss everybody. And yeah, I mean, even if we could all just meet for like fun flying,
yes,
it would just be awesome. I just miss everybody.
Yeah. It's a difficult time for everybody indeed. And then skydiving, are you continuing skydiving?
I mean, there's no drop zone in Singapore. So I was hoping that in the summer next year, I will be going to Europe to skydive, or maybe America with the Red Bull skydiving team.
Yes.
But I think we are in times of really of a lot of uncertainty, and I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm really hoping for the best, because I want to study in Europe, which is closer to like all the tunnels and all the competitions. So that's the dream for me now.
I think I read somewhere you wanted originally to be an astronaut. That was one of your first ambitions.
Yeah, because I thought that was the only way I could fly. And then I found a tunnel. And I was like, nah, I'm doing flying instead.
What are you going to study, Kyra? What's going to be your university?
I know this sounds it sounds quite stupid, but I think I'm going to study in wherever that would best suit me for flying.
Right.
So I choose like which tunnel I think would help me advance more in my flying, and then I find a school somewhere nearby, and then see if there's any English courses.
That's a good way. That's not stupid. That's a good way around of looking at it. We'll find the best tunnel first, and then work out the university course around that.
because I'm really interested in learning in everything.
Yeah.
So I think whatever I go to university for, I'll be able to find like happiness or enjoy the course I'm taking. So I just want to be able to be with, surround myself with all the flying people.
Would you still consider space flight as an astronaut? Would you still consider that as an option?
No.
No.
Sadly not. I really do want to start skydiving, like from a helicopter, airplane, and all the kind of stuff. But I don't think astronaut is an option for me now. I think I will be really old by the time I come back, and I won't be able to compete a lot. So
you're not the only expert tunnel flyer in your family. Tell us about some of the other people we've got.
So in Singapore now, all the competitors are mostly kids. So we have Kai, Isabel, and Vera. So which are mainly competing. And the crazy thing is that because all the competitions are cancelled now, by the next world competition, FAI competition, they'll be able to take part. They're actually old enough already.
Yes.
So that's really scary for me because like they're really, really awesome and I can't wait for the world to see them. Yeah.
That is incredible thought, actually. I'm just processing that now. By the time we have the next big FAI meet, they will... Yes, it's going to be...
Yeah, it's so scary. Regan, they have grown up a lot.
Yes. Yeah, because it was Wing Games the last time I saw everybody, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. And they've all shot up and they've been flying a lot as well. I think they're really excited.
Wow, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. Tell me what you've got planned then for the next few months, taking you to the end of the year.
Well, obviously a lot of flying because now school is out. I have no more school, so hopefully, like a lot of flying. I want to get all my licenses by the end of next year. So I want to have my driving license and skydiving license, of course. And yeah, I think just enjoying life for now and stretching a lot.
Stretching a lot, of course. How much flying are you going to be doing? How many days a week will you be flying?
I have no idea because now I've been flying as much as I have free time. I'm at the tunnel. Like today, I was at the tunnel from 12 to 7:30.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, but I'm just enjoying myself, and hopefully by the start of next year, we'll be able to travel out, and then I'll get to fly and meet everyone and skydive. I think skydiving is really the goal now. Yeah, and I have this dream where I want to skydive off a hot air balloon. So.
Oh yes. From the basket, or
have you tried it?
From the top of the balloon, on the standing.
I saw a video of the guy from the top of the hot air balloon, and it looks like the most insane thing. Maybe both. Why can't I try both?
I want to find out how he got there.
Right? Because how does he?
How did he get on the top?
I have no idea. Have you tried it before?
I've jumped from a balloon. Yes, my first time in a balloon was to jump out of it. That was in 1995, I think, in Arizona. So a long time ago.
That was many years before I was born. That's like 7 years before I'm born.
Yeah, my first jump was 1990. So that's 30 years ago. And then the next time I was in a balloon, I was commentating on a balloon championships, and they asked me how many balloon flights I had had. I was doing some commentary from inside the balloon. I said, well, I've had at the time I'd had one balloon flight, but no balloon landings. And they were kind of, how is that possible? How can you have had no balloon landings? And then
oh my God, that's so cool. It's so cool to commentate on a hot air balloon. That's insane.
Well, it is. It's the first one I did was the Gordon Bennett gas balloon race, which is an endurance race. They have to fly for as long as possible. And the record is four nights. And so they're inside the basket, which is just less than 2 meters square, living in it for 4 days and 4 nights with food, with bathroom, with sleep. It's incredible adventure. It's like one of the last adventures in the world. And then you follow it with the tracking and see who gets the furthest. It's incredible.
That's crazy. And do you stay on top for 4 days as well?
Well, I don't. I'm on the ground in the night.
Okay. I thought for 4 days you're commentating like on the hot air balloon.
I probably could do it. If I have enough water. Well, I know it's late for you. I want to let you go and catch up with your sleep. But it's been a pleasure to see you and great to catch up with you, Kyra.
Thank you so much.
Then lots of love to all the family.
Yes, and you too, and Liz, of course.
I hope to see you soon somewhere. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.